Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about my fall/October TBR, so let's just get right into the books. So I feel like my September TBR was kind of pointless. I don't think I read most of the books on there, to be honest. I just have had like a really weird reading month, and I've been trying to clear out like my backlog of library holds because I have like 40 holds on books. And I just like would really like to get that down to like 0, honestly. Like I'd like to actually read all these books that I have holds on, and I am really bad about when a book comes from my library, I just like say, oh, like deliver later, and I just do that forever and never read these books. And I'm finally trying to like actually force myself to get through these books. And so that's hopefully what I'm going to be doing this month. So that's where a lot of these books are coming from. So the first book that I want to read actually is not from the library. It is Hollow Heathens by Nicole Fiorina. I included this in my September wrap-up. I did not read it, but it's very, like, I've heard, like, spooky season. Like, I believe it follows a mortician who moves to this town that it's, like, always Halloween or something like that. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's, like, totally off, but that's what I've heard, I think. And so it's supposed to be, like, super good for, like, spooky season and fall, and, like, obviously it's all of those things right now. And so I am excited to read this one, and I did read the Stay With Me series by the same author, and I did enjoy that. So I'm interested to see what this one is like. I believe it's a romance, so hopefully I will finally get to that one this month. I find lately I'm having a really hard time getting myself to actually physically read a book. Like, everything that I've been reading has been audiobooks because I just find that it's so much better for me, like, productivity-wise. Like, I can get so much done listening to an audiobook, whereas I feel sort of trapped when I'm reading a physical book. Like, I have to sit down and read it, and that's kind of annoying me lately. I don't know why, maybe just because I'm getting busier, but this book obviously is on Kindle Unlimited, so I don't have the audiobook, so I do need to actually sit down and read this one, so that's sort of why I've been putting it off, but I'm really hoping to get to it this month. Next is Nothing More to Tell by Karen M. McManus. This is her newest release. I actually really enjoy Karen M. McManus's writing, which I didn't realize. I read one of his line last year and gave it 3 stars, but not because I didn't like the writing. It was mostly because I figured out who was behind like the murder very early on in the book, and that just kind of ruined the book for me. But I did enjoy reading the book, which I feel like says something, like with the fact that I wasn't even invested in the mystery part, but I still wanted to read it. And I just read the sequel to that one and really enjoyed it as well. I gave that one 4.5 stars because I actually really did like that one. So this is her new release. This one follows a girl who, I believe her favorite teacher was murdered at her school, and I think she's now graduated, and she is for some reason she's working on like interviewing these kids that found this teacher like behind the school or whatever, and I don't really know what's up with that. It sort of is giving me like Good Girl's Guide to Murder vibes, where this girl is going to be like looking into this teacher's death and figuring out what happened. But I'm really excited to get to it. Like I said, I've really been loving her writing lately, so I already have this one checked out as an audiobook for my library, so I am definitely excited to get to this one this month. Next is Love on the Brain by Hazelwood. This is another one I already have checked out from the library, but I have the ebook, and I'm really hoping to get the audiobook before my ebook is due because I'd rather listen to the audiobook, but we'll see. This one obviously is Hazelwood's newest release. I don't know much about it. I actually haven't even looked at the synopsis for this book. I just know I want to read it, and I've heard a lot of good things about this one. I've heard some people say they actually like this one better than The Love Hypothesis, and so I am interested to see this one because I did really enjoy The Love Hypothesis, so I'm excited to get to this one for sure. Next is Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. This is another one I already have checked out. I finished Magnolia Parks at the end of September, and so I am excited to get to the second book. I was obviously, like, they mentioned Daisy in the first book, so I'm excited to see sort of where her story goes and what's up with that and sort of what's going to happen. So I will definitely be getting to this one this month for sure. I'm going to do a whole video review, I think, on this series, so I may actually read the third book as well. I have a hold on that at the library as well. So I may get all 3 books done hopefully by the end of this month. We will see how much I actually get done, but I'm hopeful that maybe I can get them all done. Next is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandanna. This one I've been seeing everywhere. I've been seeing such high ratings for this one. This is like a witchy rom-com. I have read the synopsis of this, but honestly I've read so many witchy rom-com synopsises lately that I just don't even remember which one this was, but I have heard a ton of good things about this one. It's got like a 4.5 rating on Goodreads. Like, everybody has been loving this book, and this is another one I already have checked out from the library, so I am excited to get to this one. Like I said, I've heard really good things about this one. I'm actually hoping to do a witchy romance book rec video, hopefully in the next week or so. So hopefully this one ends up included in that one, because I have been really enjoying a lot of the witchy romances that I've been reading. I just love like the non-horror sort of aspect of Halloween. Like I'm such like a diehard like Halloween Town hocus pocus type person, and I am so excited that like these books are coming out, because I feel like before the X-Hex there wasn't really a lot of these like witchy rom-com, just sort of light witch books. Like I don't want to read something that's like an insane like world building, magic, all that. Like I just want to read like a romance that has witches in it, and I feel like we're finally getting those, and I am really enjoying all of them. So I'm excited to get to this one. Obviously, like I said, heard tons of good things. Next is Witchful Thinking by Celestine Martin. This is another obviously witchy rom-com. Really excited for this one. I've seen this one a lot on NetGalley, but I don't know, I never requested it, I guess, because I never got it. But I did get it from the library. I currently have this one checked out too, so I'm hopefully going to be getting a lot of reading done in the next like 2 weeks, because I have all of these books checked out. And I am excited to get to this one. I know it's a witchy rom-com. That's literally it. That is all that I need to know about books these days to want to read them. So I will definitely be checking this one out. Obviously, if I like it, it will be in that witchy romance video I was talking about, so you'll hear more about it then. Next is A Ghost in Shining Armor by Therese Beharre, I think is how you say that. I have no idea. But this one is another sort of like spooky season romance. I think this girl ends up dating a ghost. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I know she can see ghosts, and I know there's a romance, but I'm not sure if the guy is a ghost or not. But it just sounded interesting. I saw this come up on the library. I haven't seen this anywhere. I checked it out from the library as soon as they got it, because it just sounded like right up that like spooky season, Halloween vibes alley. And I'm just like, that's all I want to read in October, is just like all the spooky season stuff. So I am really excited about this one. Like I said, haven't seen it anywhere, but maybe no one's just read it yet, because I do believe it just came out. But I'm excited to get to this one. Next is The Project by Courtney Summers. This is like a YA thriller. I'm gonna do a video at some point this month also on YA thrillers, and so I have a couple on here that I do want to read. This one I actually have on the shelf here. It is the bottom book in this stack that you can see. I have wanted to read that book for a while now, and it is about a girl whose sister, I think she like disappears, and I think there's something to do with a cult. To be honest, that is all I know about this book. I don't like knowing a lot going into thrillers, because I feel like half the time it ruins whatever is happening in the book. So I just like going in blind. I'm excited for this one. I know that the other book this author wrote, I think it's called Sadie, is really popular and gets a lot of good reviews, so I'm hoping this one is just as good. And so I will be hopefully getting to that one this month. This is another one I already have the audiobook checked out from my library. I have so many library books out right now, it's not even funny. And along those same lines, I also want to read The Ivies by Alexa Donne. I believe this might have been on my TBR last month, but I will 100% get to it this month. I have it checked out from the library. I want to read this again for that video. And this one is about a bunch of girls in the school, I think it's in high school, that are Ivy bound, and then one of them dies, and I guess they're trying to figure out who killed them, and if it was someone trying to get her spot at one of these schools or something like that, I guess. So I'm interested to see how this one does that. I've read something that I think was sort of similar, and I really didn't like it, but I'm hoping maybe this book does it better. I didn't realize this author actually is on YouTube. I stumbled across her channel a little while ago and was surprised, because I had no idea that she was a YouTuber when I purchased the book, but I am excited to get to that one for that video. Next, this one is like one that I'm just really hoping I get. It's Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper. And this one, honestly, I feel like people always kind of wonder why I don't read this book, because I read, like I said, I love the witchy romances, I love the Halloween vibes, and this one is like right up that alley, but I've never read it, and it's been out for like 2 years now, I think. And the reason for that is, and this is driving me nuts because it's happening to me again this year, my city's library does not have the audiobook of this particular book, and like I said, I haven't been loving reading physical books, so I want the audiobook. And my library is partnered with 4 other cities surrounding us, and so I can borrow books from those libraries as well. The problem being that this book is available from 2 of those libraries, and if I put a hold on it, and this is what happened last year, I've put a hold on it at both libraries, hoping that just like one of them I will get. And the wait time's not even that long. It's like 3 weeks for one and 5 weeks for the other. And so I'm like, okay, like that's fine, like, because usually you get it faster because people finish it anyway. So I was like, okay, like I can wait that, and I put the hold on both. And what seems to keep happening is when someone from that actual city's library puts a hold on it, they get put ahead of me in the line. So I'm just sort of consistently at the back of the line with all the other people that aren't from that city's library. And because of that, and because it's like Halloween season, obviously the demand for this book is pretty steady. So because of that, I've never made it to the front of the line for this book. I had a hold on it last year at both libraries too and never got it before Halloween. So I just sort of gave up and said, well, I'll try again this year. This year, once again, I am on the holds list for it and still am not getting it. But hopefully soon, because I've heard good things about this and I do really want to read it, but I don't seem to be able to get it from the library. So that's kind of sad, but hopefully somehow I will get a copy of this month and be able to get to it. Next is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. This one is another one that the library wait time is like astronomical for the audiobook. This is like super popular. But I actually bought a physical copy of this book because it was on Book Outlet like last week, which was kind of weird because it's very popular right now, so I was surprised they got in as many as they did. So I ordered that. I actually have it in my room right now, but I want to film an unboxing for that first, so I'm waiting for a couple more boxes to come, and then I will film that, and then I'll be able to read it. So I do own it, I just don't currently have access to it because it is in the box, obviously. But hopefully I'll get that filmed later this week, and it'll be up later this month. And so I'm hoping to read this one. This one is another one I think that's like a romance that involves ghosts. I don't really know much about it. I know it's super popular this year. Everyone is reading it, and I believe this is an adult romance, even though this author usually writes YA books. I believe this is the same author that wrote Geekerella, which I have but have not read. But I'm interested to see what all the hype is about with this one because I have been seeing it around a lot this year. And lastly is Three Dirty Secrets by Nikki Sloane. This is the final book in the Blindfold Club series, which is a series that I've been reading over the course of this year pretty much. And this is the last book, so I figure I will just finish it off this month and then I can, move on. I'm trying to get better at wrapping up series. I have this really bad habit of reading the first book in a series and just stopping even though I liked it. And so I'm trying to actually finish all the series that I've started. So this is one that I'm hoping to wrap up this month. And so anyway, those are my fall, autumn, October reading plans / TBR. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. I do new book videos every single week, and I will see you next time.